No.
This Pontypool traffic report brought to you by the Lovecraft eZine annual Halloween episode. All right, yes, it's the welcome everyone. Happy Halloween. It's Halloween month. We're just a few days away from Halloween 2025. So thanks for joining us. As usual on our Halloween episodes, we have Jeff Thomas and Scott Thomas. Hey guys.
Hello.
And yeah.
Sorry,
And
yesterday we had the last one.
what's that?
It seems like yesterday we were doing this.
I know, right? Uh, Gone are the days. You remember that Halloween episode that we did, guys? Man, it was great. You guys were telling some great stories and everything. We were still on Google Hangout,
Mm-hmm.
and I was not happy.
Oh,
Oh, man, like this happens once a year. I said to Danielle, it happens once a year. It had to happen on this,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
but that is no longer the case.
Yeah.
Although maybe I shouldn't jinx it.
Mhm.
So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. In addition to the Thomas brothers, we have Mark Rainey, Pete Rowlick, Bridget Brynmark, Alan Hughes, and Matt Carpenter. So yeah, welcome. Looks like we got a lot of people watching already.
Cool.
Greetings from Mexico, Christina
Oh,
says. Yeah,
Christina. Hi, Christina.
Hola.
yeah. Hola. So before we went live, Matt was telling us that our friend and Patreon Chaz challenged you to make some dish that was in Dracula.
Yes, do you remember when we did Daily Dracula back in 23?
Mm-hmm.
So, for those of you who aren't listening who've not heard, there's this thing called Daily Dracula. And because Dracula is an epistolatory novel told in journal entries and letters and stuff like that, what they did was they broke it out for each day. What did the journal say, or what was the letter that was written? And they send it to your personal email address. And so it ends up reading, and it goes like May to November. It ends up sort of reading like a travelogue. Get in on it next spring if you never have, just look up Daily Dracula. Well, the first week or so is essentially a travelogue through Hungary by Jonathan Harker, talking about what he drank and what he ate. And
Must get recipe to Mina, that
right,
sort of thing.
yes, exactly right. That was a quote.
Yeah.
And there's different ways you can call it, but it was German. It was chicken paprikash, which is basically chicken stewed with paprika. Um, so, and then there were homemade egg noodles like spätzle, but they've got a Hungarian name. So I made that today, and Chaz is going to make it too. It's like a very nice homey chicken stew with homemade dumplings.
Mm.
But even with all the paprika I put in it, I can't say it had a striking, unique taste of paprika. But it did have a nice color when I ate it and didn't put anything in my mouth for a minute. There's a subtle afterburn, but I can't say it tasted of paprika. Now, the problem is sometimes the spices in American stores are really kind of bland.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I wonder if I had actual Hungarian sweet paprika, if it would have made a difference. But I don't know. It was pleasant enough to eat, and it wasn't really very difficult.
Mm. Sounds good.
I guess we'll have to wait to hear from Chaz on his version. So
He said he was going to make it, so we got to hold him to that.
I'm sure I have no doubt that he will. Pete, you should make it too. You're quite the cook. Yeah.
No, no, no. I
Yeah.
ate enough Slavic food growing up. I'm never going back.
I'll
All
make
right.
the Hungry Man dinner version of it. That's like microwave.
I'm picturing I'm watching the Ninth Gate because we're going to talk about it for the Patreons in a couple days.
Oh,
Record that. And I'm picturing Johnny Depp tossing that um, frozen dinner into the microwave without even taking it out of the carton. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's such a great movie.
Yeah.
Well,
mhm.
real quickly, this took like the recipe from stop to start took a little over an hour. That's not an insignificant amount of time.
Mm.
If you want a quick dinner, this ain't it.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing was making these homemade egg noodles, which are more like dumplings. It makes me think, well, The next thing I need to do is make homemade chicken and dumplings, just American style.
Mm.
You know, I don't know how this is sort of a fall dish, I guess. Well, it's a
Yeah, it's a fall winter dish.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say Danielle around this year she makes Texas roadkill chili. It's got 4 different types of meats.
Like armadillo and squirrel.
No, but it's really, really good, especially the way she makes it. She's got her own recipe, and no beans, of course. Real chili doesn't have beans. So
Your version of real chili does not have beans.
Pete'll back me up on this.
He's from Texas, so yeah.
They're literally called chili beans.
No, I
Look,
I did not hear that.
I like Cincinnati chili.
In Texas, chili doesn't have beans.
Addicted to Cincinnati chili because when I was young, I was in Cincinnati. But if you really think about it, it's more like a bolognese sauce than actual chili sauce. But they call it chili. So basically, anything is chili.
No,
Yes,
No.
tomato
But
soup
we'll-
with a bay leaf. You could say it's chili.
but we'll argue about that another time. Hey, everyone watching live, good to see you. Let us know whether you're watching live, you're watching this later. If you're watching later, you can put it in the comments. If you're watching now, you can just type in the side chat if you want. But what are your plans for Halloween this year? So let us know that. And that's right, Sean, we are live. Sunday Night Live. Pete, Halloween plans. Or your
Halloween plans. I will be
October plans, you know.
I will be at Spooky Empire in Orlando.
Oh, what is that?
It's a horror convention that actually falls on Halloween this year.
Super cool.
I think their big guest used to be Parker Posey, but she canceled. So now I think it's Elvira.
Oh,
And you
Al Goingback's going to be there. John Urbanchik, Daniel Brom, me, a few other people. Lots of other people, actually. I think some of the minor cast members from Hellraiser are going to be there.
nice.
that's cool.
You're a
Yeah,
guest?
I'm a guest.
Nice.
Nice.
Say hi to Elvira for us.
Wow.
That
Mm,
sounds like fun Halloween.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing tonight? That's what the
Oh,
audience wants
tonight?
to hear
Tonight.
about.
Halloween plans tonight. At 8:30, my local movie theater is showing in 3D Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
man. Nice.
I am envious.
So
Yeah.
That's super
we're gonna
cool.
go see that.
Cool.
Sweet. Well, you're raising these kids right, I have to
We're
say.
trying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying.
All right. Who else has Halloween plans or Halloween week plans or whatnot?
I kind of do.
All right.
So the Cornstalk Theater is a local theater, well established in the Peoria area. Last year they did an adaptation of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House.
Mm.
Well, they're doing an adaptation of Frankenstein.
Nice.
So
Cool.
I'm going to, but I'm not going on Halloween. Our friend group is going on like November 2nd for the
Yeah.
matinee, like Sunday for the matinee.
Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds
Yeah.
cool.
Halloween
Oh, by
is
the way,
next Friday.
I do mention I have a prize.
Mhm.
It's kind of cool. It's a book called Mini Weapons of Mass Destruction. It is instructions on how you can make things like trebuchet for your cubicle at work if you want to attack your coworkers with spitballs. It's all
That's
the weapon
hilarious.
designs, you know?
That's
If you want
funny.
it, just send an email to eZinePrizes@gmail.com and put weapons in the subject heading.
Do
We'll
they
draw
have
6 to 8 weeks.
tanks? Because Mark has a lot of mini tanks, I've noticed.
No tanks.
Yeah,
I think
many tanks. Yeah.
there is a second book that I never got, so I don't know if they have any like mobile vehicles in that one. But you know, if you have a plastic spoon and want to shoot something at your coworker, go for it.
Hilarious.
All right, Bridget.
We usually get quite a few trick-or-treaters, so that's really our plans on the night.
Say that again.
We get a lot of trick-or-treaters, so that's really our plans for the night. It's just what we usually do is hang out and give out candy, and then we'll watch some kind of movie after the kids.
That's nice though. I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's very cozy.
It's encouraging to hear that there are still that many kids.
Yeah, we tend to get a pretty good many trick or treaters here now, which I love to see. And most years as long as it's not dumping rain, we sit out on the front porch, and wait for a bunch of kids to come. And Kim and I usually get into costumes.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. What we're going to do this year is we've got a big old metal fire pit. So I'm going to take that right down there in the lower yard by the street so that when they come, they'll see the big fire. And
Cool.
I'm going to be dressed as the front man from Squid Games.
Mhm.
Hopefully
Are you
that'll
gonna
scare
yell,
some
"Get
of
off
the
my
little
lawn"
fuckers.
to the kids?
Oh God, yes. Yeah. I'll have to learn how to do that in Korean then.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, this
Nice.
blanket that I'm sitting on is from my Patreon, Donna. So thank you, Donna. It's very
Oh,
soft,
that's
very
nice.
comfortable.
Nice.
Yeah. Halloween blanket.
Is that homemade or store
No,
bought?
I don't think so anyway.
Oh, okay.
So God damn it, Igor. You better be sorry you're late.
Mhm.
Alan, I'm guessing you have some sort of plans.
Well, sure. I've still got a trick-or-treating age kid, so we'll
Yeah.
walk out through the neighborhood and one, I'll either go out with my wife and daughter, or my daughter. One of us will stay home and catch the trick-or-treaters here. They tend to finish up before dark. I think that's kind of changed a little bit. I'm not really down with daylight trick-or-treating.
No, that's not fun.
No.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
But I gotta. Yeah.
If people are too afraid, do you know what I mean? Because when
Yeah.
I was a kid, we would get cookies, glasses of apple cider, homemade popcorn balls,
Mm.
all these
Mhm.
Rice Krispie treats.
Apples, yeah.
And
Mhm.
now, nah. And they might even like say, bring your candy to be scanned for
Mm.
laser blades or some shit. So parents are scared because the atmosphere online is so paranoid. I
Yeah.
think I put a meme on my wall. It's like, say, be careful with your kids' Halloween's candy. It has the poison. The
Oh
poison
boy.
for Cusco. The poison especially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. It's like, if the parents are, we would like go out like when we were 6 or 7 by ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's
My
just a different.
grandma used to give out fudge that she had homemade, and she would meticulously cut it into little slices and wrap them each in tinfoil and give it out to the kids. And she would always say, if you're let your parents know where you got this if they weren't there at the curb. But usually somebody would be, the parents would be there at the curb and they'd be like waving, and then sometimes even the parents would come up and be like, you got the fudge, like. But yeah, you can't do that these days.
Yeah, but I agree with Jeff. It is encouraging to hear that kids are, in parts of the country are still trick or treating, like when we were all,
Mhm.
yeah, well, Bridget's still young, but the rest of you.
Here, most of them come in pretty good sized groups.
Yeah,
Like
that's safe.
last year, it was a little slow last year as it started, but then we'd have maybe 10 or 12 kids all come wandering down the street at the same time. And there were maybe 4 or 5 groups like that. So by the time it was all said and done, we just about ran out of candy.
Gee.
There's
Guys,
also-
Thankfully,
lovely.
I had plenty of bourbon on hand for me.
Oh yeah, so
Wise,
does
sir.
anybody have any Halloween like special drinks or food?
Oh, good. Yeah, good question.
Somebody said
But
bourbon.
before you answer, Scott, I think your lovely bride is watching. So, hey, Sarah.
Oh, she is?
I think so.
Oh.
What's her last name? Robinson?
Right. Yeah.
Yep, that's her. Hey, Sarah.
Hi, sweetie.
Yeah. Okay, so Bridget's question.
Mind what you say, Scott.
Oh. Damn.
You didn't mean it, Sarah? No. Okay, so yeah, Bridget's question. Who wants to field this? I'm gonna guess Pete. Pete hasn't said anything yet. Let's make him talk.
Special
Please.
foods?
Yeah,
Or
and
drink.
drinks. And drinks. Yeah.
Oh, and drinks. Well, Mandy always makes sangria, and because we're in Florida, right? So it's not really cold here. In fact, we're lucky if it's not going to rain. It's
Rain's
supposed to
good on
get down
Halloween,
into
though.
the 60s, I think, this weekend. But Mandy usually makes some sangria, and we'll sit out in the driveway with other neighbors, and we'll just pass like a bottle around, and everybody just gets a
Nice.
little toasty. I know that and Matt actually brought this up, I think, as this cool weather approaches, this is the week that Mandy will make chicken and dumplings, because it's a time of the season for chili and chicken and dumplings and really thick
Yes.
stews, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, that's what we will probably do.
Well, I'll answer your question too. Danielle usually makes what I've already talked about, that Texas roadkill chili. So I'm going to forget this if I don't do this right now. I'm texting her right now saying I need Texas roadkill chili. What about you? What
With
Nancy?
real roadkill.
No.
I don't know exactly how it started, but I make buffalo wings pretty much every year. And then I'll do like I don't know what you call it, boucouterie board or whatever, where I'll put like a skull at the top and put like prosciutto and stuff on it, and then put, the cheese and meats and stuff around it. And so, yeah. And then just today, actually, I got some super bougie apples. It was like 4 apple cider concentrate or something at one of the fancy stores. And so I'm gonna make some of that, and I like to put Fireball and apple cider. I think that's fun. So just do a little
Nice.
bit of that.
Yeah. Who else wants to feel this? Scott?
We don't have a recurring like actual meal plan, but there are particular like treats that I have to have every Halloween. I gotta have my Butterfingers, Raisinets, Hershey Minis, popcorn, peanut butter cups, cider, hot chocolate. So not a meal, but that's what I have to have on Halloween night.
Yeah, especially those peanut butter cups. Those are my favorite.
That's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who else wants to feel this?
Well, it's not necessarily just for Halloween, but come fall, I always make a very, very spicy clam chowder that my wife will not touch. She's not real big on shellfish anyway, but
Is it like
I
a
make it sort of
Manhattan clam
Manhattan
chowder?
style so that it's red. What's that?
I was going to ask if it was Manhattan clam chowder.
Yeah. Yeah. And I put ghost pepper and habanero in there to give it a little kick.
Jeez Louise.
wow. That sounds great.
Ouch.
Anyone else? Alan? Nothing?
We already did the chicken and dumplings this week, so
Yeah.
got that one checked off the list. We usually like on Halloween night pick up a pizza, eat that, before we go out walking the neighborhood. As far as drinks, Halloween's kind of a cheap beer holiday. That's the drink I like most on a.
How old is your little one that you're going trick or treating with?
She's 11, so we got a couple more years.
Oh, that's good.
She's
Yeah, I
doing
miss those days.
she's doing something from Percy Jackson. I'm still trying to figure that out. So
We need to start like a hashtag chicken dumplings, eZine chicken dumplings or something. Every time one of us makes chicken
Great.
dumplings, we could just hashtag eZine chicken dumplings. We could see how many people out there.
Yeah. Pete was talking about it raining on Halloween. Of course, that always makes me think of The Crow, which I think I need to rewatch. That's such a great Halloween movie, which is a nice segue into Halloween movies. What do you guys like to watch this time of year?
Night of the Demon.
Really?
Yes, and the Night of the Demon and Carpenter's The Thing are the absolute prerequisites. They're my 2 favorite horror films, and Halloween cannot come until we watch it. And The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Man,
Yeah.
gotta do that too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We always watch Mad Monster Party.
Oh God, I loved that as a kid. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I think Mad Monster Party is the best of the Rankin Bass films.
It's
Oh,
a mummy.
but then, now that my girls are older, we actually do watch Halloween because
Mm,
it's a pretty decent film.
It
yeah.
is.
Hmm.
It is.
Sets the mood.
Yeah.
Who else wants to field this? What are your favorite movies to watch this time of year?
I'll usually put on Nightmare Before Christmas while the kids are trick or treating because it's a good background movie.
Yeah, it is.
And if it gets you in the mood for Halloween, but if you miss a little bit of it, it's okay. And then after the kids leave, we'll probably watch something else. I actually really like to watch The Bride this time of year with Sting
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
and Jennifer Bills. It's
Mhm.
one of my favorites.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I want to go see the creature in 3D now. I'm gonna have to crash
Ooh.
Huh.
Pete's place.
You've got an hour and a half to get here.
Mhm.
We watched Trick or Treat on movie night, which
Yeah.
I'd never seen
Yeah.
before. And then
What did you
earlier,
think? Yeah.
it's okay. It was entertaining enough. It was like
It's fun.
it's like cotton candy,
Oh, no, I know, but
Pleasant.
it's a pure Halloween mood,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so entertaining enough.
Mhm.
I liked it. We watched Something Wicked This Way Comes like 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah, so did
that
I.
has more substance, but it's okay. Trick or Treat's fun.
Mhm.
I don't really have certain movies that I have to watch each year, but I always watch more horror movies. I told you guys this earlier, but I rented Weapons. I'm gonna watch that tonight. It looks really good. You guys liked it, right?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Um,
Saw it a couple nights ago. I thought it was very good.
It kind of, to me, and nobody else is going to see this, but to me, it reminds me very much of the Night Gallery episode when Aunt Ada came to stay,
Hmm.
in a backhanded kind of way.
I don't remember that one.
So, well, if I tell you about it, it'll spoil the whole movie.
I'll watch the movie and then I'll watch that. I'm sure I've
Okay.
seen it somewhere in the distant past.
I like this director though. I liked Barbarian a lot, and
Yeah.
God, yes.
I like this one even more. It was really well done.
I really loved the first two acts of Barbarian a lot. And it was the ending was fine too, but the reveal wasn't up to what my imagination was suggesting. Does that make sense?
The Barbarian's funny. It reminded me a little bit of Martyrs. The secret, in that tormented person being held prisoner and everything. It reminded me superficially of Martyrs.
It kind of, there's a British movie. I can't remember the title. It's about a lost tribe in the subway system. That's
Oh,
very
it's got Pierce Brosnan in it.
that's that. I think you're thinking Nomads.
Nomads.
This
Is
is
it?
Nomads is a underrated movie.
Yeah,
Oh.
Nomads, but this is an older film
Okay.
from the 70s, I think. But anyway, it kind of reminds me of that. But the thing about Barbarian that gets me is that there's a comment, an offhanded comment by the guy who's living on the street around that area that says she ain't even the worst of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
true.
there's worse shit down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like things like that where that just kind of
yeah.
tease you with possibilities.
Right.
Scott, your wife says you're being too quiet.
Mm.
You have certain movies that you have to watch?
Me?
Scott? Yes.
Yeah, very, very basic. Great Pumpkin and Halloween.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have any of y'all ever seen The Houses October Built?
Yes.
That one gives me the creeps a little bit. I mean, it's pretty cheesy, but it's about this group of people going to find the most extreme haunted attraction that they can, and it kind of comes to find them. And I really, really enjoy that.
Yeah. I was actually, I think, what is it called? The series is what, Hell House LLC?
Oh yeah. The first one and the origin one I liked pretty much.
I was pleasantly surprised with how good those were.
Mm.
despite having essentially no budget. Really, really impressive work. So yeah.
I've not seen this house. It's the house October built or houses?
Houses, I think it's the houses that October built. And there's the second one, but I watched it last year and I wasn't taken with it. The first one I get a kick out of.
But you like, okay, the first one's good. You liked it?
I
Yeah.
call it good, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
There's another one, it's almost similar, it's called Haunt.
Yes.
Is it Haunt? I think, and it's about people going for a really creepy haunted attraction experience, and boy, do they find it.
Well, I'm gonna probably watch, as I said, Weapons tonight, and if I'm not too tired, I'm gonna rewatch The Crow tonight.
Is that
as
on
well.
HBO Max? Because
Weapons?
Weapons is
Yeah.
on HBO Max. Yeah.
okay,
think
because we
so. I
don't
don't have
have
HBO
that, and I
Max.
know I want to see it. We've got a bunch of streaming stuff. We don't watch that much, so we'll probably cancel one and get Max, long enough to watch that and some others.
I saw it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's for rent there. It was
Oh, okay.
more expensive, but now it's $6.99 to
It's
rent.
$6.99.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's not too bad for a movie that's just a pretty new release anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what, like I said, I don't have to have any that repeat, but as long as I'm watching horror movies, trying to think if there's anything else.
A few years ago, we started watching tradition of watching a horror movie set on Halloween, and I think last year we did Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie.
I do too.
Darkest Darko. Yeah. It's some, when Logan was younger, some movies that we watched, one of them was Halloween Town that I really, really liked. Just, pure Halloween. And of course, I couldn't get enough of watching the Scooby-Doo movies and TV shows with him. So, yeah. He's 23 now, so not so much into Halloween Town and Scooby-Doo anymore. So I am, though.
Okay.
What about books to read about around Halloween? For example, Night in the Lonesome October. A lot of people read a chapter a day in Halloween since there's 31 chapters. What about you guys? I got a pile of books here I can recommend.
Was it the Halloween Tree?
Yep, I got that right here. Halloween Tree. Let's see here. It's also on Audible. Pretty good version. So, Ray Bradbury, Halloween Tree. This is pretty cool. If any of you don't know about this, The Haunted Looking Glass. I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's ghost stories chosen by Edward Gorey, and it's got the gory art throughout.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that. Dang it.
So, well, for those of you that are Patreons on the tier that gets books, that's going to be the next book you get from me. So don't buy it because I want to be sending it to you. So, and then as Matt mentioned, this is the first year that Something Wicked This Way Comes has been available on streaming. What channel was that on again, Matt?
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, yeah.
Disney Plus, of course. Yeah, right. I don't have a lot of DVDs anymore, but I had to have this one because it wasn't available on streaming. Pete, what?
By the way, Disney is also streaming Rocky Horror Picture Show. Just
Really?
confirming that, Frank is a Disney princess. So
He's a Disney queen.
yeah, that's the alternative.
Just yesterday I asked Danielle if she'd ever seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, in the theater. And she said, yeah, I saw it at the drive-in.
What?
And yeah, that's what I said. But then she said everybody was out in the parking lot dressed up, doing everything that you do. So,
Okay.
My wife acted in a community theater of Rocky Horror Picture Show some years back. She played Magenta.
I've played magenta.
You look like magenta. I get it.
I've also
The
played,
hair just
Wow.
moved a little south, you know.
who else? I play, well, Dr. Scott, the narrator,
Yeah.
once Eddie, but 3 times Columbia. So
Amazing.
Wow.
no, you do not want to see me in fishnets and underwear. So
No, I knew that already.
Can I reemphasize that point?
yeah.
God. Oh, by the way, the book, the anthology, the horror anthology, Dark Stars, is on Kindle. It's available for 50 cents right now.
Wow.
So, I mean, I had, they sent me the hardcover, but I went ahead and spent 50 cents on the Kindle. And then there is a book called Elder Things Expeditions. And
Oh yeah.
Pete can tell us about that one.
So Elder Thing Expeditions is essentially expeditions to Antarctica that encounter the Elder Things, or but the idea was that it's spread out over centuries. And Sal and I wrote a story set in a very, very far future Earth where Antarctica is tropical.
Hmm.
And the cruel empire of the Sanchan are trying to expand and conquer Antarctica.
Hmm.
And it's not going to go well
Hmm.
because that's the way it goes. But anyway, yeah, it's an interesting book. I have not seen a copy yet, but supposedly they're on the way.
Hmm.
They sent me the PDF, but
Oh.
Hmm.
yeah, you probably have that.
Yeah, I didn't even know this book existed. I just ordered it.
Yeah, I posted the link in the side chat for those of you who are watching. Yeah. I want to make the Thomas brothers talk more, so I want to talk about
Hmm.
them. This question for them and for the rest of you, but we'll start with them.
Hmm.
And I know you've told these stories before, but would you guys each tell a weird, true thing that has happened to you in your life?
Sure. I found we've had where we are now. It's a 1900 house, and we've had a number of weird occurrences. But I happened to find, or I had written one down that I'd entirely forgotten about. And it was one night I was awake in the kitchen. I had the radio on, and I heard a voice say, "Hey, Scott." And
That's at this place you're at now?
yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You've only been there a couple of years, right?
Hmm?
You've been there a couple of years now?
A number of years, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go on. I just want to make
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I heard somebody clearly go, "Hey, Scott," and it just sounded so real to me that I figured it was Sarah. So I went in, and I just spoke to her. I said, I call her Sweetest. I said, like, "What, Sweetest?" And she was asleep. And so I clearly heard that, someone say, "Hey, Scott," and there was no one around who could have done that. And I did have the radio on, but I was like two guys talking to something, and it didn't sound like, it was different from the sound quality of the radio, and it didn't, it would have been incongruous for that to be the source of it.
Yeah.
But we had also heard one time we're in the bedroom, and I'm standing there, and Sarah's sitting on the bed, and we're chatting, and we heard an old lady, very clearly, an old lady talking in the cellar, speaking several words in the cellar right under us. And in that house, you could hear a spider fart in the cellar. The floor, you can hear every sound down there. And we heard this woman talking, like, what the heck? Because, there was no old lady in the house, and let alone in the cellar. So that's two strange audible experiences where we are now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sarah says you've been there since 2018.
Ah,
So I knew it was somewhat recently. but
Wow, it's been that long already. Jeez.
yeah, wow.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff? Anything you want to relay?
Well, rather than repeat one that I've talked about before, there's been some very subtle things lately where I am.
Okay.
But it's probably nothing. However, because I've been where I am now for about 12 years, I guess, and there was really nothing ever that bothered me, except in recent months, I hear like creaking, the floor creaking, where it sounds like somebody walking, it almost like a successive creaking, and it seems to come up to my door, which I leave open, and I assume it just sounds like Jade maybe in the middle of the night coming to tell me something or whatever. But then I look and there's nobody, and I'll go out and I'll see nobody. And even a couple times I thought I've heard, like we have like bags of chips and snacks, whatever, on the kitchen table, and it sounds like rustling sounds, like somebody's going through it. And a number of times I've thought, well, Jade, wake up in the middle of the night, my daughter waking up, and maybe she's hungry. But whenever I go out to check, there's nobody there, and it doesn't sound like that maybe a mouse is getting onto the table or anything like that. Again, it's that kind of creaking that's approaching, that comes right up to my doorway. But again, it could just be like the boards, the floor is wooden boards, and
That's creepy,
changing
though.
temperature or
It's not
something.
right coming up to your doorway.
It sounds like it. So the only thing that would change, like I've been here, like I say, 12 years, what would change? Well, about a year and maybe over a year ago, the house is subdivided into 4 units. And the guy one of the people on the other side from me passed away in his apartment. He had nobody had seen him for a while. So one of the other neighbors went and checked on him and found him dead in there, sitting in his chair. And so that happened not all that long ago. So,
Christina says, it's me, Jeff, stalking in your house.
Oh, that would be good, though. That would be a good thing, though.
I just read an article, and I don't know when it was dated, but like, I guess it was, I think it was in Romania, where this woman died and they didn't find her in her apartment for 38 years.
Oh my God. How sad that is.
Nobody checked on this person for 38 years.
That is
38
sad.
years.
Yeah, like,
Oh, I mean, come on.
She
Who
was
was
still
paying
paying
the
the rent?
taxes, the property taxes?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, it's crazy. But yeah.
What a lonely
Sad.
existence she must have had when she was alive to be.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
Forgotten.
Guy, your wife says creepy on the side chat, creepy legs appearing in a mirror, thinking it's my kid. Start a conversation with them, turn around and no one's there.
Yikes.
In case you didn't know that, Scott.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, she saw legs walking by, and it was a mirror by her workstation on like a blanket chest, and she saw these legs walking by in a nightgown.
Ugh.
Looked real enough for her to turn around to speak to our teenager, and there's nobody there. That's very creepy.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Who else has got some weird but true stories?
Well, I've had only one thing that I could think that unsettled me, that I wouldn't chalk it up to anything necessarily supernatural, but what actually rattled me more than anything was what my brother experienced, my younger brother, some years ago. My father died in 2001, and he had been debilitated for a time before that, so he had a wheelchair. And after he died, my brother he had been dead for a little while, a few weeks, I think, and my brother was here, and I came in, and he was sitting downstairs in the family room downstairs, and he was as white as a sheet, and I knew right away something wasn't right with him. And so, what is the matter? He goes, I heard Dad's wheelchair upstairs.
Oh.
He said, there's no way to mistake that sound. He said it was rolling around the floor. upstairs, and of course, I came up here, and nothing ever came up, but we never experienced anything like that
Question:
again.
Had
I
he
mean, my
been
dad
watching?
died in the room right next to me here, and I've never experienced anything myself like that.
Question:
But
Had
that
your
gave
brother
me the
been watching
creeps
The
because he
Changeling?
was just so rattled by it that it rattled me.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Had he been watching The Changeling recently?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
That
that
is
movie always
creepy.
creeped me out. The Changeling with George C. Scott.
That's a scary one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good movie, and you don't expect that kind of film from Scott at all. Um, and that's kind of how he pulls it off, right? Because you don't expect him.
Mm.
Well, and also not really any special effects, just in that movie, but the creepiest things like a ball bouncing down the stairs.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, yeah, it's a really good movie. 1980, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Who
Right.
else has something strange but true? Anyone? I know Pete does, but
Oh, Jesus. I knew you were going to do this.
well, people are putting you on the spot by not speaking up. It's not my fault.
Yeah, that's not fair. Okay, so the most recent one, the most recent thing that's happened is like I put together a new ceiling fan and finished.
Was it haunted?
No, it's yes, the haunted ceiling fan, right? I bought it secondhand from a mortuary. Oh my God, that actually works because of
You're
what
welcome.
is it? Habitat for Humanity does architectural salvage now. Like you could buy crap from. Wait, hold on. Never. I gotta go right on. But you know what I'm saying? Like you could buy haunted household appliances and fixtures, just completely. Anyway. Anyway.
And I will
so-
sell you that idea for 25%.
Okay. Anyway, I bought a new ceiling fan. I put the ceiling fan in. No big deal. I went. It was in the dining room. I went and I sat on the couch and I'm relaxing, and like right in front of me, all this stuff just falls out of the sky. Like in my living room, pieces of like nuts and bolts and washers just fall out of the sky right in front of me
Huh.
in a completely different room.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm freaked out. And yeah, my wife came downstairs and she's like, it's Mark, it's like your brother. I had that look on my face, like, this is fucked up, but there's nothing really I'm gonna do about it. So, but yeah, that freaked me out for a day
Yeesh.
In a different room.
in a different room. And yes, it was like, okay, maybe stuff fell out of my pocket or whatnot, but it came past my eyes.
Or
Wow.
call is
It's like
coming
some
from inside the
poltergeist
ceiling
kind of.
fan.
Yeah. Anyway, weird stuff.
Well,
Held. That's
so then I guess that is a good segue to a question I wanted to ask you guys, each of you. Oh, hey, Daniel, right? Boulder. I can never get him straight.
Boulder, yeah.
Oh, hey, Boulder. He is so cute.
Oh.
Oh my God.
He was my ghost just a few minutes ago. He was yowling in the hallway. Huh.
It's like,
And now you've upset him.
But
yeah.
it wasn't a ghost, it was you.
Hey, buddy. He is just so cute. So I wanted to ask each of you, do you believe in the supernatural? Mark, let's start with you. And if it's a maybe, that's fine too. I want your thoughts on it.
I don't rule out anything beyond my understanding, but I have no firm belief in the supernatural. I am fascinated, with fiction. I love exploring and examining all, things that, especially incidents that I read about or heard about, and, sort of play with, well, what could that be? But
Right.
like I said, I've never had any experience that would lead me to believe that there is. I would say the preternatural is probably something that is real, where things happen that we don't understand. But I've always just figured, if it happens, it's natural. So supernatural is just
Yeah.
a conflicting term to me.
I agree with that. It reminds me of gosh, I can't remember what's the book where the guy is hired by the rich guy who's about to die to find proof of life after death. And his son's pissed that his dad's spending money on it. It's a classic book. I just can't think of it.
That
It's
rings a
not
bell
Hell
for
House,
sure.
is it? It's not Hell House, is it?
No.
Okay, well, and he says something, the son says something about not believing in the supernatural, and the ghost hunter guy says, I don't either. If it happens, it's natural, you know. So, but,
That's the Matheson book. Yeah.
Matheson, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Hell House?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Wow, I remembered something Pete didn't.
Oh,
Now that's supernatural.
Mhm.
Jeff, what about you?
I do. I do believe in the supernatural, but that doesn't mean by any means that I believe in every story I hear about it.
Sure.
I believe in a fraction of what I hear about it, just like there's a fraction of UFO stories that seem worth considering, and
Right.
there's a tiny fraction of Sasquatch sightings that might seem worth considering, things like that. But more so, I believe more so in ghosts and things like that than I do those other things. But again, I would look at every story very critically.
So, if you believe in ghosts, so you believe, or at least the possibility exists for you that in life after death.
I guess so. Yeah, but I don't know that I believe in an afterlife in the sense of heaven and hell and all that. I wouldn't really know how to.
Yeah.
There's different theories, of course, about energies recorded somehow to the grid of energy or whatever.
Pete, what about you?
I'm non-denominational. So the scientist in me says no, but I've experienced some weird stuff that I can't explain. And, as a scientist, I also say it would be foolish to say that I know everything and I understand everything. But I also know how many people have been tricked.
Yeah.
And I've watched it. I've watched people, succumb to fear and, hype up to make other people think that stuff is going on. Like I watch a lot of these. I don't watch a lot of them. I watch a lot of these ghost hunter stories, and it's like they'll take the tiniest little thing and build it into a massive. Oh my God, this is incredible!
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
And a lot of those shows behind the scenes, they're actually causing,
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Bridget, what about you?
I was like, do you have a week for a thesis? No, just kidding. I have experienced a lot to not think that there's something, but I also think from a psychological standpoint that it's still, even if it's all in our mind, it's still real in a sense.
Yeah.
It still affects us. So, but yeah, I don't think we could totally explain everything anyway, just because we're limited by our own perception and experience. So whether other dimensions or other layers of normality are piled on our normality, we wouldn't be able to tell. It's like the 3D person going into the 2D universe, there's just stuff that we couldn't totally define or comprehend, and that's okay. It's fun.
Has anybody here seen it?
I want to believe as the X-Files.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also agree with Pete. Like, I used to do ghost hunting group. And there were a lot of people who were super eager to just be like, oh my gosh, there's a ghost, you know, at the first sign of anything, and won't add some healthy scientific skepticism to just actually balance the scales. So.
If you want to believe, that's when you really have to be careful to weigh the
Right.
evidence.
And you can get taken advantage of by people. So
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen a movie called The Stone Tapes?
Yes, yeah, I saw that a couple of years ago. That's
I
good.
think
What's it
it's
about?
really relevant to this conversation. I mean, you know, it's like here are a bunch of scientists that actually stumble onto a haunting, and they work very hard to prove that it's an actual haunting. But then they discover sort of like what causes hauntings,
Mhm.
and then like, oh my, yeah, it's like if there's some terrible event, it can be recorded in the stones.
Yeah.
And then it just gets replayed over and over again.
Mm.
Like it was like a TV film, wasn't it? Like a TV movie in Britain.
Yes.
Bridget, you said you've experienced a lot that makes you lean that way. You know, like, can you give an example?
goodness. Similar stories of things, you know, hearing noises, different houses I've lived in, things like that. When I was a kid, I was definitely, I think, more sensitive, and I would see more things. Like a ghost standing in the backyard just looking up at me as I was looking out the window, like things like that. But I haven't seen stuff like that in a really long time. But I still do hear and sense things sometimes. But I was trying to think of probably one of the more endearing stories was when I had a house rental. There was one time I was sitting there on the couch, and the couch faced the archway to the hallway that went like this. And I saw an actual mouse run across the hallway. And I was like, you know, but then after that, there was a cat-sized shadow that followed it.
Oh, geez.
And I knew pretty much the whole time I was there that there was a ghost cat, because you would just see it. I mean, you know, when you have cats that you're like, oh yeah, fake cat all the time, because you see things out of the corner of your eyes. But this was like that, but there was also a presence. It was kind of cool, actually. But it definitely sealed it when we saw that little mouse like run across the hallway and then the shadow go.
Chased by the ghost cat.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was awesome.
Wow.
Scott, what about you?
Much as it grates against my logic and my respect for science, I've had so many experiences living in a dramatically haunted house, and experiences of others, people that I know, and things I've heard from, you know, people I don't know, that it seems to me there's something we don't understand, you know, as part of our reality. It's like, how do you explain a cousin Jody? And we had an aunt, my aunt Nell died, and within a couple of days, Jody, my cousin, is at our house. Phone rings, she picks it up, and there's a lot of static in the voice. Is asking for Marge, who is Jody's mother, and all the static. And then this voice over the phone says, "It's your aunt," and which would be Jody's aunt. And then the voice faded out. It's like, just as an example, you know, I've seen books flying out of a room. A bunch of us as kids saw clearly, a bunch of us witnessed a ghostly figure like move not far from us outside, and just on, you know, just experiences that that can't be explained by within the parameters of what is known. So there's definitely some, you know, I don't blindly believe, but there's something going on.
Yeah.
To me, the idea of like EVP, you know, electronic voice phenomena, there's something about that just creeps me the hell out.
So scary, yeah.
I think because, you know, most of y'all are probably of the age to remember, you know, the old landlines. And when I was growing up, we had even party lines, you know, where several people would be on the same line. And as a kid, I would oftentimes pick up the phone and there would be weird scratchy sounds, and sometimes I would hear voices, and that stuff creeped me out as a kid. It was just the crap on the phone line, but that's carried over to my adult age, I guess, is that of all the creepy supernatural things, that's the one that really gives me chills.
Yeah.
Mm.
My mom had a friend who passed away in a house fire. And she swore that he called her one time and he was saying her name or whatever it was, but she heard enough of his voice that she thought it was him. It was shortly after he had died.
Oh,
I remember when William Peter Blatty, who wrote The Exorcist, in the sequel Legion,
In Legion, that
He
I was
has-
thinking exactly of that.
yeah.
is that character who is capturing those voices.
Yeah, Amfortis is his name, the psychiatrist.
And I remember when Blatty went on a talk show, I can't remember which one it was, and he was playing recordings that he had made himself, and he truly believed in that. And on Facebook's friends with his son. His son, I think,
Same.
he's kind of less of a believer, but he said his father badly wanted to believe. And, his father was a devout Catholic. His father badly wanted to believe that these were authentic voices that he was capturing on tape. Not phone calls from the dead, but when you put a tape recorder
on a tape recorder, and like in the book, he would ask a question into the air, and then when he played the tape back, there'd be a voice saying something, and if you played the tape back at a different speed, it would say something
Right.
Oh,
else.
that's creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard him on the Larry Glick show on a big Boston channel years ago. I tape recorded it, but Blatty was playing these, and I heard his recordings he did on Reel to Reel, and he would ask a question and about what it's like, and one voice, and they were very, voices were weird, and you would have to like change the speed to hear him, but one said something about "we get help here."
It's like a hospital.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Dr. Angels.
Dr. Angels, yeah, that was it.
And one who sounded like his mother had this weird sing-song voice, said, "Why'd you marry Linda?"
Oh yeah.
Like-
Demi, why you do this to me, Demi?
Somebody's still bitter, obviously.
The creepiness aside, Blatty, I'm sure, was desperate to believe, as you said,
Yeah.
because it would be comforting to quote unquote know that there's life after death. I would
Right.
think.
We've talked about this. I always use the example of Dracula. Like, I would love to rewrite Dracula as the gospel of Abraham Van Helsing, because it essentially proves Catholicism.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
Because the cross works.
As an F. Paul Wilson book,
Mhm.
where that happens too, and people who are not Christians get real upset by it.
Yeah.
I forget which book that was, but
Midnight Mass.
yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it would be comforting.
It
I
wouldn't.
mean, unless the afterlife is like, the end of Stephen King's Revival or something.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. Then it would not be comforting so much.
Has anybody else done a ghost hunt? Because it is different when you see it on TV, obviously, than when you're in a place yourself. And I've done the ones where I'll go in a room by myself and blindfold myself and have some kind of tape recording thing. And that is a very freaky experience. And it's very freaky when you do hear things on the recording afterwards, because you're not on a show. Like, there's no producer saying, hey, fake this thing or that thing. Like, you were there and you heard it. So it's very creepy.
What did you hear?
I didn't hear anything in the moment, but like one time on a recording, somebody was like, "Where's Linda?" Just random stuff similar to what you were talking about earlier.
Linda, again. Who is this Linda?
Yeah, who is this Linda?
Alan, what about you?
I've had a few things. I too have seen a ghost cat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, or maybe it was just a cat. Uh, but I think I've told the story before. Yes, I saw a cat at night, and it looked a lot like my cat that I'd grown up with that was living with my parents back home. And they called me the next day and said they had to put the cat down the day before.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Cat had died, and then like that night, I was outside walking, and I saw a cat, like 50 yards away from me that looked like that cat.
Oh,
Aw.
So maybe it was
That's-
just the cat that looked like my cat, or it was
That's a hell of a coincidence, though, if it was.
it
that's what I
is.
thought. Yeah, that's let's see. And then when I was a really small child, there was a shack, an abandoned shack in the woods that was in a different place every time we went to find it.
Why?
Oh,
What?
That's cool.
that's creepy.
But that's also could be my 7-year-old
Yeah,
memory.
sure, but that sounds like a great story in the making.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great story.
But I mean,
Pete's like, I'm gonna write this down real quick.
but I'm generally a skeptic about most things. I'm a member of a religious faith. I'm a Protestant Christian, but I'm probably like just more of a cultural Christian than a very dogmatic one. So I think, but even then there's things that I feel that stuff that defies explanation, as soon as someone tries to explain it, I usually lose it.
mm.
I get, I'll tear it apart. So I just like it to be left that there's things that can't be explained.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
Last but not least, Matt.
Okay, I'm a wet blanket. The first thing I'd like to say is if we hadn't discussed it on this forum before, I found out why ghosts say boo. It's a Latin
Right.
verb. I'm alarming. I'm scaring you. I'm alarming you. So say boo, boo. And it's actually that's where you got boo from. It's the ghost saying boo, I'm scaring you.
Oh,
Which is really kind of cool, but sort of mundane.
Right.
Anyway, my view is that any extraordinary claim requires extraordinary proof.
Yeah.
Great.
We are
Same.
natural. There's nothing about us that is not natural. I don't believe in any kind of supernatural anything. I've never really had any experiences, but I'm a human being, and if a squirrel jumped out of a bush behind me in the dark, I go, yeah, I'd shit myself. So I'm especially brave about ghosts. I just don't believe in supernatural stuff.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't disrespect anybody who does. This is just me personally.
Mhm.
Someone
I'm not
asked.
trying to proselytize.
No, I know. Someone asked Andrew and Carl Sagan's wife after he died, and they said, "Didn't Carl want to believe?" And she said, "No, Carl wanted to know." You know, and I'm gonna paraphrase this badly, but he said something to the effect of, "I would love to believe in an afterlife where I'll see all my loved ones and everything, but there's just not enough. I haven't seen the evidence for that."
Mm.
So I've got an open mind, but yeah, I require evidence
Yeah.
to believe in something.
I
So-
wonder, I'm going out on a limb a little bit, but I'm wondering if there might be people who are more sensitive that pick up on these things more or
Yeah.
track them more, or maybe they're just people who are more prone to have more vulnerable imaginations. Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably all of those, depending on the person.
Well, I've had a couple of things that I can't explain, but that's where I leave it is I can't explain it. Just because you don't have an explanation for something doesn't mean you have to make one up.
Mhm.
But as I said, this is a Halloween show. I love horror, and I love the possibility of all of this. Who knows? My answer is I don't know. But if I'm gonna quote unquote believe in something, I don't really believe in anything. If there's evidence for it, then obviously it's true. If not,
right.
then I'll reserve judgment. What, Pete?
I'll give you one that I've never told anybody
Uh-oh.
Oh, right.
because
There we
it's
go.
kind of embarrassing. So I was with this with this girl, And no, I'm just kidding. So I was a kid of the 70s and 80s. So like my parents both worked and I came home and I went to you go in the house by yourself, all that
Mhm.
stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And we lived in a house with water radiators, right? So if you don't know, if you don't have a water radiator in your house, basically there's a heater in the basement and it warms up the water and it sends it through the house and it goes into the radiator and the radiator radiates it out. And if you
Mhm.
don't bleed the radiators, they make weird noises.
Mm.
So it was the fall, and apparently we didn't bleed the radiators.
Mm.
I came home and the heater kicked on and the radiator started speaking to me,
Mm.
like
What?
saying stuff, or at least it sounded like they were saying stuff.
Oh.
All
And
right.
What were they saying?
I don't remember,
And
but I was so freaked out. I ran out of the house and stood in the driveway for like 20 minutes.
All right, Pete, in the words of Sid Haig from Bone Tomahawk, this is no time for womanly imaginings.
No, it's not. But it's also like, I'm a kid of horror, right? There have okay, so I used to drive people and take them out on tours on airboats into the Everglades, right? And I would turn onto a road that leads into the swamp, and it's like packed with fog and there's like 3 feet of visibility. And I just pull over and they're like, "What are you doing?" It's just like, "Yeah, I've seen too many horror movies. This is how they start. We're just gonna sit here for 15 minutes and let this all burn off. I'm not gonna be able to launch in this anyway, so it's not gonna cost us anything except, make me feel better, right?" So I'm more willing to take one for the team and be a little embarrassed if to sit things out, if just in case they are something.
Mm.
Do you know that just brought something to mind that I didn't even remember? It was one of my very first short stories. God, what was it called? The Arms of Doom or something. And there was a radiator in an old hotel that spoke to this little kid. Turns out, of course, there was a monster inside the radiator, but that really brings to mind because those things really did make weird noises. My
Yeah,
grandparents had those, and that they used to have them at the church I was at. So yeah, they'd make some weird rackets.
they make some weird, breathy, raspy,
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like breathing noises.
But you couldn't decipher any of the words. It was just
I don't remember. I just remember it freaked me the fuck out.
This was
And it was
50 years ago.
and honestly I think it's before Ghostbusters, but or Aliens. It was like, in my head it was like, time to leave. Let's go.
Mhm.
You know, just
So you
walk out
don't
the
see this
door.
behavior in a
Sure.
house plants.
You would never make a good victim in a horror movie, Pete, because you'd be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, yeah, there are, I think sometimes the universe speaks to you and your rational part of yourself says, this means nothing, just go with it. And then there's a little voice in the back of your head that says, leave.
Just in case.
Just, it's no weekend with your friends at a spooky cabin is worth whatever's going to happen when the harbinger talking about how you're sinners and you're all going to die. I'm just putting it out there.
Mhm.
Oh man. Uh you see that you guys have seen that, or maybe not everyone, but the Doctor Who episode Listen. Remember that one?
Yeah, you love that episode.
I do. To me that's one of the creepiest Doctor Who episodes, because you remember that part where he talks about the dream that everyone has at some point in their life? He goes, I think everybody at some point in their lives has had the exact same nightmare. You wake up, or you think you do, and there's someone in the dark, someone close, or you think there might be. So you sit up and turn on the light, and the room looks different at night. It ticks and creaks and breathes, and you tell yourself there's nobody there, nobody watching, nobody listening, nobody there at all. and you very nearly believe it. You really, really try. And this hand reaches out from under the bed and grabs the kid's ankle.
Mm.
It's a damn good episode. You don't have to watch any other Doctor Who episodes if you haven't seen them. It's just, you can go straight to that one. So,
You know, one of the things I like always to think about this is the concept of pareidolia,
Mm. Yeah.
where our brains are trained to look for patterns and see
Yeah.
things.
right.
Mhm.
And you know, like evolutionarily, this is important, right? Because you know, like a lot of our mortal enemies were ambush predators. So if you can look and see eyes, it's better to be mistaken
Mhm.
than to be not mistaken.
Mhm.
It's a
So
mystery.
you know, there may be some evolutionary advantage to us seeing things
Mhm.
and hearing
Oh, yeah.
things and being afraid,
Yeah, there's a
but
reason why
not.
we're afraid of the dark.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
he who fights
Natural
and runs
selection.
away will live to run another day.
Yes. Yeah.
Wendy just said err on the side of run.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Always.
I like that. Uh, anything else you guys want to talk about on this Halloween show? I always mention this book, The Night Country by Stuart Onan.
Mm.
And it's very haunting, very Bradbury-esque story about these kids that one Halloween night, 5 of them, they go out driving around too fast, and 3 of them are killed. 1 of them survives. 2 of them survive. 1 of them without a scratch on him, basically, and the other one with permanent brain damage. And then the following Halloween, the ghosts of the 3 kids who died come back on, quote, one last mission among the living. It's a really, really, really good book. And if you like Ray Bradbury type stories, you'll like it. So yeah.
Mm.
All right. Anything else, guys? Anything else you want to talk about? Are you yeah.
Okay, so just a reminder, there is an eZine prize, mini weapons of mass destruction,
Many
guidelines
thanks.
to make weapons during your cubicle wars at work. If you want to win this prize, send an email to ezineprizes@gmail.com and put weapons in the subject heading. It'll be 6 to 8 weeks before we draw a winner, so heck, get an entry in. You never know.
On the Thursday night show, I will read the first few chapters of not first few chapters, the first page or 2 of The Night Country. Stuart Onan always says it's okay for me to read. So it's really, really good. That's all I can say.
All right, Mike, I want to tell one more story
Please.
that is a scientific horror story.
All right.
So a couple years back, probably 10 years back now, I set up cameras, motion cameras, motion detecting cameras to videotape some of my sampling locations, including like gates and structures. So I
You're
only get
stalking
video.
people. Go on.
So I only get video if there's movement.
Right.
And we actually had to play with the sensors on that because like the water's always moving. So you had to crank up or crank down the sensitivity.
Right.
So I got like this whole like 30 minutes of video and I couldn't see anything moving. And it just was like, but it's there. And it would turn off and it would turn back on, and I couldn't see anything moving. There were no birds, there were no fish, there was nothing. And so I was like, all right, just sit back and relax and watch it from a distance, you know, like change your perspective. And God damn it. On the one of the wing walls, these like the concrete wing walls, this thing, this flat thing, there's 2 of them, comes up out of the water and slowly, like an inch a minute, climbs up the wall
Jeez.
and up and over the edge and into the grass.
Oh,
And these things were like, 3 or 4 feet long.
whoa.
And it turns
How
out
were
that
they?
we have invasive flatworms, giant flatworms. in
Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh
What?
God.
And this is an example of those. And I have it on video someplace.
Ugh.
Florida, you got like invasive pythons, invasive lizards, invasive flatworms, invasive New Yorkers. It's just crazy.
Even
Gambian pocket rats is my favorite invasive in Florida.
What's
There are
that?
they're rats from Gambia, and they have mouth pouches that they store food in. The problem is they also carry the plague.
Oh,
That is a problem.
Yeah,
The, the truth is they're endemic plague populations all over the West, like in Colorado, in the
yes,
guinea pigs, and
yeah.
I mean, prairie dogs.
And then like as a fisherman, I'm always afraid of like we've pulled up a couple lionfish, and that's always fun.
Well, actually, if you can clean them, I heard they're really good eating.
They're delicious.
Wow.
Eat,
But those
eat
flatworms are
taters.
3 or 4 feet, did you say?
Yeah, they're huge.
Unbelievable.
Yuck.
Jeez.
How wide are they?
They're no wider than my little finger.
Okay.
oh.
Okay, I'm grossed out. I'm never coming
Yeah.
to Florida
No,
I
again.
was like, when we finally figured it out, I show it when I go to conferences. I was like, these are things that you never suspected you would see,
Mm.
and
Well-
and it's so subtle because they're so slow and flat, and they blend right in with the wall.
I've heard enough.
That is so scary.
I've
Gross.
heard enough.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
But Bridget has a similar story involving a spider.
Yes, we have we have our camera on our second floor pointed outside towards our yard, and it'll give us an alert like, oh, there's an animal in the yard, and usually it's our umbrella for our table. Any kind of wind goes like this, it thinks it's a person out there. But one night we clicked on it to look the video live, and it was a spider
Oh,
climbing
cool.
over the camera.
Oh, so neat. Did you record it?
Yeah,
Yeah, she
well,
sent us the video.
recorded it and saved it. So I sent it to Mike. It was, you just saw like the creepy little legs
Yeah.
crossing the vision of the screen. It was great. It made it seem like the spider was epically large.
It was right when Kelly's spider book came out.
Mike just said it's terrifying from the other room.
It was. I sent it
Yeah,
to
it
Kelly.
wasn't
He's
at the
like,
same
you
time
son
as
of
Kelly's
a
book.
bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought you liked spiders. You're writing a book about spiders. He was like, no, I'm afraid of spiders. That's why I wrote a book about spiders.
If
Ch-
you ever have an insect show up on your car's backup camera, that's a freaky experience.
What was it?
If you ever see an insect on your car's backup camera,
Oh.
that's a freaky experience.
That reminds me of the old story because I'm old. It's like, there are just too
It's
many
true.
gadgets on modern cars. I mean, I tried to reverse and it just showed me a movie of some guy getting run over by a car.
Well, if there's an insect on my backup camera, then I knock it off of the rear view mirror, Alan. So,
Sorry
Matt,
for
Chad
being in
wants
the
to know if you-
21st century.
yeah. Chaz wants to know if you took pictures of the meal.
It's on the my Facebook page.
Okay, there you go, Chaz.
But my wife didn't want it heavy, so we used yogurt instead of sour cream, and then I added sour cream to my own dish.
Yeah, I just saw your picture. It looks really good.
yeah. Matt, somebody wants to know if you
I'm hungry.
kept the skin on, because that's what you need with the fat for.
No, that may give you more depth of flavor to the broth, but it doesn't bring like a paprika taste any more forward.
Now I'm
Okay.
hungry. All right,
Yep, time to go eat.
everyone, happy Halloween. Thank you for watching our Halloween episode. I'm gonna do sort of another Halloween episode on Thursday night. Alan, are you gonna join me?
Sure.
That's the night before Halloween, so that'll be fun too. We'll read some Halloween stuff.
Okay.
And that's at 9 p.m. on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thomas Brothers,
Thank you.
always really great to see you guys.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We'll see you all in Providence this summer.
Yes.
Yes.
Forward to that.
Oh, 26. Yeah, I hope I can go.
Yeah, I hope so.
We might be moving at that exact time, so I don't know.
Oh.
I'll keep you posted. Thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you soon. Happy
Good night.
Halloween.
Thank you.